Epic Gaming Night is made possible by the support of patrons like you. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Caney, and with me as always is Matt.
Hello.
And Robert Newman. The Watcher in the North. Did Rob freeze?
Looks like it.
The statue of Robert Newman. I told you that the North got him. Winter has come. And he has been frozen by the Night King. That's what happens when you watch too much Game of Thrones, man. It just gets you.
It literally said, and with me as always is Matt. And as soon as you were about to say Rob, my screen died.
I said Robert Newman, the Watcher of the North, and then you froze.
To me, it dropped the whole call.
You were literally just like frozen solid in the frame. There you go. Michael Power says he's a White Walker now. We've all lost all hope.
Well, if he's not one now, he will be after Sunday.
Exactly.
This weekend is going to be so epic.
Matt, have you thought about watching it at all?
If I'm going to, I'm not going to jump into season 8. Okay, let's start with season 1.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just jump in season 8. It's okay.
Rolling process.
Hey, Matt, are you...
Are you partially a robot?
No, his thing is breaking up on me.
I know. He was breaking up on me, too. That's why I asked if he was partially a robot. But hey, you know, internet connection and Skype, it's good stuff.
Yes, it is. Did he mute himself?
Maybe.
Yes. Look at that guy.
Awesome.
So this weekend, Jordan. Hey, Jordan. So I'm excited. Speaking of Jordan and myself and Matt and Adam are all going to be crashing together for Dice Tower Con.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dustin had no idea what was going on or what I was talking about.
That was hilarious.
Oh, what did he say? He's like, who's Rob?
No, he's like, what's Dice Tower Con? This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
No way.
No, yeah.
He was like, even consider going until you texted me.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, I'll think about it. I was like, okey-doke. Pretty good.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me this week he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Okay,
But
well, you know.
I'm excited.
It's a long shot.
It worked out. I'm excited, though. It's still going to be a great trip.
That's awesome.
And, bro, this weekend, so here's what I've got going on. Thursday, I'm going to see Avengers Endgame twice. I've already got my tickets.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm stoked about that.
I'm going at 6:30 and I'm going at 10:30.
That's going to be so epic.
It's going to be over 6 hours of TV. And I'll be okay with it.
Dude, what if they let Thanos win?
I mean, they're like, cool, guys, we're moving into, what is it, stage 5 or whatever?
They shocked him the first time by Thanos, and then they shock him again. The double whammy.
Well, I've got that on Thursday.
There's no way that's going to happen.
And then Friday, the new video game Days Gone comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And then Saturday is Piedmont International Tabletop Day.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was it. I would have talked about it on the podcast more. I didn't realize it was coming up.
It's this Saturday. And then Sunday is Game of Thrones. Sunday is Game of Thrones. And then guess what happens on Monday? Which you won't know. My first wave of Joan of Arc is supposed to arrive.
What? You got like a shipping notice?
I got a shipping notice first
man.
thing this morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It's a lot, but it's still not a lot. It's just the dragon, the devil, the super exclusives, and then the core box.
That is still a ton.
It's just a dragon that's a meter wide.
Yeah.
39 inches, tip to tip, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for that on Monday. So yeah, from Thursday on, I'm just like so happy. Like, don't talk to me. Don't ask me for anything. Don't just like I'm just gonna be playing and having a good time. And yes, I've got to do some work in between then, but no, I'm pretty stoked.
There's a lot of things to look forward to. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Faux show.
Hey Matt, are you gonna try to go to Piedmont International Tabletop Day?
Was that on Saturday?
Yeah, it's actually this Saturday. I was looking at my calendar of like, what else can make this weekend even greater? And then that popped up, and I was like, yes, a tabletop day.
That's awesome.
Mark and Courtney and Kent will not be there.
It's at the same place.
No, it's at the Moravian Church or the Bunker Hill.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Bunker Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in Kernersville. That's where it's been for the last few years, and Tim does a really good job putting that all together. They normally have a lot of support for that stuff too, so it's awesome.
I literally made plans earlier today for something on Saturday, so
No problem.
it'd probably be earlier in the morning, but I don't know.
See, if I go, it would have been in the afternoon because my wife's going shopping in the morning.
Ah,
I made plans earlier today saying, hey, babe, this thing is out this weekend. You go shopping during the day. Can I go in the afternoon to go play board games?
Nice.
there you go.
Next time I'll text you first. I'd be like, hey, real babe.
Real babe.
Good times.
Well, there's a couple news articles that I want to talk about. I don't know if you guys had seen. But yeah, have you guys seen the Bloodborne Kickstarter from Cool Mini or Not that just dropped?
Yeah, that launched today.
I've never really played much of like the Dark Souls / Bloodborne games, but the minis always look crazy for that stuff.
Is Eric Lang a part of that project? I know he was a part of the board game, the card game project.
I think he's a part of
He is.
all of the CMON stuff now.
Yeah, but like a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the Kickstarter, it lists him as a designer and then one other person. Let me get back to it.
Yeah. Man, the minis look pretty crazy, though. I mean, it's CMON, so, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I should put the link in chat just because, but...
Yeah, it's Eric Lang and Michael Shinall.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy who did the Game of Thrones with him, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Which,
Not
man,
Game
the
of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones, A Song of Ice
Song
and
of
Fire.
Ice and Fire.
That following is still going strong, man.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm excited about going to CMON Expo and getting a core box because it's expensive. So it's cool to that's part of the package.
Yeah.
He also apparently designed Xenoshift and Rum and Bones.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. But anyway, I'm excited for Bloodborne. I don't know if I'm going to back it just because
Right.
I'm now having like Joan of Arc and other games come in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It looks great. I mean, it really does look great. I still have remorse for not backing Tsukiyumi or whatever.
Oh, you ended up pulling that?
I did because I was like, who am I going to play it with? Like,
Yeah.
it's a very much direct take that, and if I'm going to play it, take that at first, it's probably going to be Risk with new people.
I hope
before
one
I
gets
bring
in.
something
There's
like
got to
that.
be one that gets into the Dice Tower library. Somebody has to have backed it and has to get there somehow. I'm excited to hopefully play it
Yeah,
more at some point. But yeah, I
The,
see what you're saying.
yeah.
Kickstarter alerts you when people back stuff, but they don't alert you when people pull out. I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Yeah.
Matt.
What was it? I just put $10 on Tsukiyumi just because that was if you wanted to get into the pledge manager, because I was like, if I decide I want it, cool, I'm in, and if I don't, it's just $10. So it's like,
Yeah.
Gray Fox.
I should have done that. I like Gray Fox. In fact, I've got a couple of Gray Fox games coming later I think later this year. I backed the War of the Worlds card game that they did.
Oh, really?
And
That's
I also
awesome.
backed their new edition of Run Fight or Die. Fun fact: my copy of Run Fight or Die is the Gray Fox version before they sold it to the other copy, the one with all the mistakes and messed up stuff in it.
Yeah.
That's my copy. And now I'm getting the new edition from Gray Fox after they bought it back from the other company. But I really liked Run Fight or Die. My wife really liked Run Fight or Die, so I'm excited to back that. But I don't know. The main reason I didn't back it is because I didn't know who I would play it with.
Yeah, and it's a kind of big price point to get into. So.
Oh, I was gonna go all in that like 240
Right.
that comes with the mats and everything.
Yeah.
Just because you get the extra factions, just because you also get the player mats. I'm a sucker for those player mats, bro.
I know. It always looks so
They're
good.
so good.
It makes
I
me
mean-
really sad because Fantasy Flight, if you pre-ordered the Journeys from Middle-earth game, they gave you playmats for like each of the characters, and I'm like, man, I wish I had playmats, like Neoprene playmats for this game, but playmats are so
That's
cool.
Asmodee for you.
And the Middle-earth playmats, like they have a big like playmat that's like the map of Middle-earth. Of course, it's not out yet, just like the Game of Thrones one, right?
Yep, not out.
If either of you are thinking about backing Bloodborne, Cool Mini or Not's doing this thing that's different to all their previous campaigns. If you back it within the first 24 hours, it's $10 off.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
There's
crazy.
17 hours to go.
Yeah, so I've put in to back it at $90. I don't know that I'm going to get it, but it's just like I'm just reserving that $10 off.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then
Matt's like, gotta work them loopholes if it actually happens.
I was looking at it, and it does seem interesting, and the minis are really cool, but it's like, for me, I feel like when I was looking at it, there's only 5 bosses that come with it, and the 5 bosses, bar like maybe 1 or 2, are all sort of really early game bosses in Bloodborne, so you're not really seeing a lot of the really cool stuff that Bloodborne has to offer.
But are
I
they
think.
gonna have a million stretch goals?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and hit that $10 off thing now,
So then
and
you can
just
see what the
watch-
value of the
yeah.
game is at the end.
Yeah, and then 13 days from now, I go, is this worth $90? And then figure out from there.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But
this stuff is
I
crazy.
do like the fact that it's just like sort of a explore your board, kind of like Betrayal and that sort of stuff. It seems pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
So
I
as
don't
you
know.
play the game, the board builds, like you flip
yes,
tiles.
you like sort of move to a new place and you put a tile down. And
I love modular boards.
Dude, I think more games need them. It's so cool. Just that aspect of exploring something and then being like, I don't know what's going to happen. And you turn something over and you're like, bam, this is okay. That's the sun in Zion. All right, neat.
Especially
Bye.
when it's like modular boards that are like different. It's not just like, okay, this shape or that shape, but there's actually things you can
Yeah.
find on them. It's so fun.
Here's a fun fact.
Mhm.
I'm getting the first wave of my Joan of Arc. And I still have not gotten a notification for my Lords of Hellas.
I knew that was going.
And when I look,
Hey Rob, you want
my-
to know a fun
yeah,
fact?
Nobody cares anymore.
Um,
I care.
I care.
all of the stuff, like the second wave expansion stuff, came into the studio for Lords of Hellas, and it looks really cool. It looks
That's-
like
that's-
real awesome. Like the alternate gods and the alternate characters, and like the alternate boards and stuff. Man, it looks awesome.
That privilege right there.
And you know what it's done since it came in? It just sat on a shelf because we're so busy. I was like, hey Tom, when are we gonna mess with the Lords of Hellas stuff? He's like, I really want to. We got a lot of stuff to do.
I've gotten 12 other Kickstarters since then. And I have got like another 12 to still come in.
You've gotten 12 after it said that it was supposed to have delivered, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. Ah,
Good times.
Yeah.
Not bitter.
thanks. What is it? What's their name? Awaken Realms or something like that?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, guys. Anyway, so this next one on here, I feel like is more of a Euro game, but I don't know if you've seen this one, Matt. It's from Eagle Griffin, called
Yeah.
On Mars by
Yeah.
more famous Euro game designer. How do you say his name? Vlada. I can't say it. Everybody else knows it. Not me. Vital Lasar. I hear the name all the time. People are always saying his name. But anyway, people like his stuff. And it's a Mars game. And
You're trying to pronounce the guy's name?
yeah, it's a Mars game trying to pronounce his name.
Vital Lacerda. Lacerda.
That's exactly it. I hear people say that a lot. For some reason, I couldn't say it.
Oh, Vita.
Vita Lasarda.
Jordan's in here breaking it down phonetically for us.
Adam Sparkles. I'm just kidding.
Adam Sparks.
Oh, is that his real name? I'm just kidding.
Yes, it's Sparkes. No
Just
L.
add L's. All.
I gotta add all these L's. Anyway,
Yeah.
looks kind of cool. I mean, honestly, anything that has this kind of crazy theme, I'd be willing to try. And it can't be worse than whatever that game me and Rob played. What was it?
Which one?
The Mars game. Oh,
Oh, from with Trevor
yeah.
that we
I
played.
I think my anticipation was like here, like so high.
we were so excited for the app.
I was
The
ready
app
to
was
love
supposed
that
to be
game.
Like this
First
amazing-
Martians?
First Martian. Nobody talks about that game anymore. They've like
No,
swept
but-
it under the rug. They lifted up the rug and just like, don't worry about this.
Well, everybody was so hyped for it. And I remember the designer every day going on Twitter trying to downplay it and be like, guys, it's just a game. Chill out.
Well, the problem
And-
is it's supposed to be like a remake of Robinson Crusoe, and everybody still loves Robinson Crusoe, and they love Robinson
Yeah.
Crusoe so much. But I
But-
think the fact is
It
like
even
Robinson
got
Crusoe.
pushed back. Remember?
Yeah. Robinson Crusoe, you start with nothing and build like a bunch of different things. In this game, you start with your space thing, and everything just breaks constantly, and you're just running around placing tokens to fix broken things. And you don't get to explore. You don't get to do cool things. You got to go out in the rover and try to find a cog so that you can fix your broken thing. I want to do space things. I want to do science. But
Yeah,
I want to build like the science experiments or build the space station. But that wasn't what it was. It was fix your broken stuff.
Hey, well, speaking of which, that's sort of almost exactly how On Mars plays.
Cool. You get to build your things.
Yeah, you start off in like I think it plays over the course of like 3 different rounds.
Mhm.
And like the first round, you can do all of this stuff in any of the rounds from what I see. But it's like the first round is primarily going to be you shipping stuff to Mars and then starting to lay the foundations for stuff. And then the second round sort of moves into you're shipping stuff, you're taking stuff down to the planet, you're building it up. And then the third round is you're trying to build all the stuff to colonize it fully.
I like these little robot tokens. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a super cute game.
Where's On Mars at? Is it like for sale now, or is it on Kickstarter?
Oh, it's on Kickstarter. There's a link in the show notes or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the game you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. That's the game that I said would be cool. I should put the link to that in the chat as well. Do. Oh, let me actually get back to YouTube. YouTube, where have you gone? There it is.
Oh, it looks cool.
I need to try more Euro games. You guys are all talking about these
I'll
Euro
tell you
games.
I'm not all Euro, but I'm liking them the more and more I'm playing with them, because I think it's also the people that I'm playing with.
Yes.
And it's like the theme. Like, I can get behind a science fiction Euro because it would make sense. We need to produce food on Mars or we're going to die. We need to produce oxygen, water, blah, blah, blah. Like, that makes sense. But playing Panamax does nothing for me. Like,
YouTube
my
won't let
version
me
of playing
post
Panamax
links
is
in my own
who can
stuff.
throw it the farthest.
Yeah.
You know what Panamax is, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
Super dry.
I don't know. Like, these Euro games actually look pretty cool to me. Like, I can get behind it. And I like these little meeples that they have going on.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I guess we can get into what we have been playing.
I have been playing a game called Work.
It's a resource management game where you
Yes, it really
have
is.
houses listed and you have to try to
Sell them.
it's also a negotiation game.
Yeah.
Heavy negotiation with humans and banks.
Yep.
Good times. Nice. Have you played anything, Matt?
Nope.
Cool. I'll talk about the game I played then, because I played this
I
one.
want to hear about your game.
I played this game a ton. I have played Lord of the Rings: Journeys to Middle Earth 7 times now.
Is it really as good?
So it is very much like, it's really a lot like Mansions of Madness, Lord of the Rings.
Don't say it. Crap.
It is app driven. The action system works very much the same. You get 2 actions. There are technically less actions that you can do. So you get you can move, you can explore like the search tokens and things like that, and then you can attack in combat. That's basically the actions you can take. The cool thing about this game is that it is diceless, and you're going to have this deck of cards. Cards are put into this deck based off of the character you pick. So if you pick Gimli, you're going to have Gimli cards. You pick Aragorn, you're going to have Aragorn cards, that sort of thing. So you're going to get like a few cards from that character, like 6 or something like that. And then you're going to get, I think it's exactly 6. You get 6 Gimli cards, and then you're going to have some basic cards. So everybody has the exact same basic cards in your deck. So you're going to have 6 of those. You smash those into the deck as well. And then you have basically like a class or a, I don't remember what the game calls exactly, but it's basically like a class like in D&D. So you have the Pathfinder, which is really good at moving around. You have the Captain, which is good at like helping other people attack and like inspiring people. Then you have the Hunter, which is good at doing more damage. Then you have the Guardian, which is good at helping defend and heal hit points and things like that. And then you have like the Musician, who's good at doing more like inspiration and stat boost things. But yeah, it's really cool because they have suggested ones for each character to play as, but you can mix it up. But you have this deck, and in the corner of the deck, there's going to be different icons. So there'll be a star, or like a sun, which is a success. Then there's going to also be these like Lorien leaves on them, and those are basically like your clue things on Mansions of Madness. If you get those, you can use inspiration token, aka clue tokens, to turn those into successes. And then there are also some cards that are going to have blank in the corner. So all these cards are going to have special abilities on them, but they're also going to be used to randomly determine whether you're succeeding in skills. You're going to have stats based off of your character's strengths and weaknesses. Basically, you have like might and spirit and knowledge and wit, and it's all very like fantasy Lord of the Rings style stats, sort of D&D-ish, but more like, it feels more like Lord of the Rings with the whole wit and might. I don't know. For some reason, that feels Lord of the Rings to me. But that's going to be how many cards you flip off the top of your deck when you're testing for those certain skills. And you're trying to... Each turn, you're going to be able to draw cards off the top of this deck, and you can choose to put one of them in play and put the rest of them on the top or bottom of your deck. So you can kind of like set up the deck. So if you draw 2 cards... The ones that have really good, that are normally counted as successes, have better special abilities. So it's like, do I take this as a special ability and use this card as a special ability? Or do I put it back on top of the deck? Because then I will know that the first card I'm going to draw in the next test is going to be a success. It's going to count at least for 1 success. So it's like really interesting. And as you play through the campaign, you're going to get experience points that you're allowed to put new cards in this deck. And you're allowed to also like get more cards that have more successes. So you can build your deck so that you're succeeding even more. You're going to like upgrade your weapons and stuff as the campaign goes along. Like you're going to start with certain starting items like, oh, Legolas has a great bow and Aragorn has a sword. But then you can be like, okay, well, I'm going to upgrade that sword to the Sword of Gondor. And then I'm going to upgrade that to the Sword of Numenor or whatever, like his father. Like, and they just have better stats. The app tracks almost everything in this game. And it's really cool the way that the combat works as well. Because you're going to be you're getting successes to trigger hits off of your weapon, and then the hits are going to deal damage to your enemies. They basically have certain like stat numbers, very much like Mansions of Madness, but there are also keywords that you can get, and the different keywords will do a lot of different things. Like if you get Pierce, like some of the bad guys will have armor that'll replenish each time you attack them. Pierce will go through the armor. Sunder will it'll get rid of one of their armor, but that one armor will stay gone. Like you'll have knocked that armor off that person. Then there's like stun, which means that they won't be able to attack you back. And then there's the one I really liked was like Legolas I had a bow that had cleave, and I didn't realize it, but I did the cleave ability, and cleave like attacks multiple people at the same time. And I like shot one arrow and killed 2 orcs, and I'm just like, this is so Legolas in Lord of the Rings. I don't know. It just feels very Lord of the Rings. But the thing is this does not have any one-shot games or one-shot things. This is very much a campaign, and to get the full experience out of this, you need to play multiple games back-to-back to upgrade your characters, upgrade your items, and get the full story as you go along. I really like this game a lot. Like, a lot. But yeah, that's Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. I played one game with the second editor at the Dice Tower, Chris, because he really wanted to play it, and we've been wanting to play it a while. We were waiting for the app to come out. I'm like, where's the app? The app finally came out, and that day we were like, okay, let's play. So we played one game, 2 players, and then that weekend I went out and bought my own copy because that's how much I liked the game. I was like, I'm going to buy my own copy. So then I started playing it like solo to play through it and see how it works with Legolas and Gimli running around, counting the heads that they kill. It's been pretty fun. But yeah.
I'm jealous. But like in a good way. I was thinking about getting it, and then I heard you talking about it, and saying that it's like Lord of the Rings meets Mansions of Madness, which is not what I need to hear. It's what I want to hear, but it's not what I need to hear. And so I'm excited to give it a try.
Yeah, No Pun Included did a review on it as well, which chat's talking about right now. It's kind of interesting because they were like, oh, I don't like that it's like slow progression, and I feel that too, but Gloomhaven's the same way. Really, if you want to get the full experience out of this game, you're going to have to play multiple scenarios. And it's kind of interesting, like they sent out this game to review to all these reviewers, and they sent it out, and there was only like they could only play like 2 scenarios when they played it because the app wasn't done yet. So it's kind of like, all these people reviewed this game off of playing like 2 games of it. And it's hard to review a scenario-based game off of 2 games.
Now, is it campaign-based or just like scenario-based, like Mansions of Madness?
It's definitely campaign-based. Like
So it's like Mansions of Madness meets Descent.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Descent had the campaign.
Like Descent with the app if it was actually good, but then had a lot more. Like I really like the way combat works better than the Descent board game. I like the way that leveling up your deck works better than the Descent board game.
How many does it play up to?
It plays up to 5.
I mean, the box is behind you in case you need to look.
Yep. Oh, yes, it is. But it's kind of cool too, because you start and you're doing like this overworld map thing where they're like these big like running around Middle Earth, and you're like walking around trying to explore the tiles because there's this whole like threat bar at the top. And if the threat goes up too high, it triggers events, like you trigger bad things in Mansions of Madness. But you can see when they're going to trigger based off of the threat, which is really cool. And you can try to min-max that. But also, it has 2 like battle board things, which you take out, and then you're like fighting in a tavern, or you're fighting on like in a thieves like thing. But like you have these boards, which will actually like put terrain on. And you'll put like bushes or rocks or statues or walls and things like that, and it makes it more like.
Is the terrain you put on it extra cardboard pieces or actually stand up?
They're extra cardboard pieces that you just put on there, but they have like different effects as well. Like, hey, if you're standing next to the fire, you can deal pierce damage to your enemies and things like that. So it's kind of like interesting stuff like that. But one of the things I was really excited about that I was annoyed at first, I'm like, it doesn't have like the crazy puzzles in Mansions of Madness because I love those puzzles. But I actually played a scenario where there was just no combat at all. I mean, there could have been combat maybe if I made the wrong choices, but I played the entire scenario. There was no drawing of weapons or attacking anybody. It was just going around talking to lots of NPCs like some of those Mansions of Madness scenarios are. We're trying to figure things out. And I love that the game has both of that in it, where it's like you're running around slaying orcs in the countryside and trying to gather clues to where you're tracking down their leaders, and on the other hand you're like questioning people in a bar. It's crazy. And the scenario, like the map is like perpetually generated or computer generated, so it'll be different like each time you play it. And like the guys at the Dice Tower played it today live, and they had a ton of encounters and events that I didn't have when I played the game. So it's very interesting to see how it differs each time you play it, like Mansions of Madness does. But yeah, I've raved about this game a lot, so I like it. I'll be interested to see how high it ranks. I need to play it more with more people because I don't want to like rank the game just off of me playing it a ton solo. But I've really enjoyed it so far.
I mean, honestly, the fact that you went out and bought it is pretty telling to me because you're very careful about what you buy. And for you to have played something and then immediately turn around and go buy it, it clearly is an indicator of something that is very up your alley and very high quality.
Right. Well, I was saving and waiting for this because, I mean, I could have backed like Full Moon Down. I could have backed this or that Kickstarter. I could have like gone out and get the Claustrophobia Kickstarter, but I'm not going to be able to get all of that stuff. So I was hoping this game would be good. And I love Lord of the Rings and I love Mansions of Madness. So I was hoping it was going to be good. I was like, please don't fail me. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Fantasy Flight has failed me before, but they didn't fail me this time. So I'm really excited about the game. And I feel like they're going to be pumping content out for this. They've already announced like one small box, and they've announced they're going to have a whole nother campaign for it as well. So I'm pretty excited. And I think there's something in the app that says like each game you play is like a different encounter is what it calls it. In the base box, it says that there's 181 possible encounters. So that's like with all the branches of every single encounter that it could be. I'm like, what? That's insane.
Man.
So, but it's definitely one of those games where it's like there's a lot of content there and a lot of stuff you can play through, but it's campaign. So that'll be the main sticking point for people. Do I have time to play a campaign? Am I going to be able to get people together to play a campaign? That's going to be the hard part for people, I feel like.
Yeah, it is for me about that. However, the IP is enough for me to want to buy it and have that opportunity. I don't have a lot of Lord of the Rings games, and I already love Mansions of Madness. And so we'll see. This might be one of those games where I play it solo.
I've been playing it solo, and I want to beast through like the whole thing, but I don't know. I'm excited for there to. I don't know. I'm excited. I think they said Q3 is when like the next campaign is coming out, so I don't want to like rush through it too fast. But I can just play it again.
Well, don't believe them because Q4 of last year is when the playmat for Game of Thrones Mother of Dragons is supposed to come out, and we're now in Q2 of the following year.
I wonder if that's just Cool Stuff not getting it, or if it's just it never came out.
Cool Stuff gets all the stuff.
Yeah.
They really do. Like, Cool Stuff is great about
Are they
that.
in stock? Cool Stuff in stock?
No, it's all out of stock. The only people that I think got their playmats are the people that pre-ordered through Asmodee, which the more and more you hear about Asmodee, the more I think they're the devil. But anyway.
They're the devil.
They're the devil, and they're terrible. They're terrible. But I understand their companies that work with them have to say that they're nice and that their distribution is all great. But we're running into a distribution problem with Asmodee and flipping Song of Ice and Fire, which I didn't realize that happened, and that hurt my soul.
Yeah.
When I found out that Asmodee is now the distributor for all of CMON stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It broke me, Matt. Matt?
Yeah.
I almost started crying.
They're gonna buy out our Ardmore Realty next.
You know what? I'd sell it to you.
Rob's like, boy, I got a number in mind.
Dude, that's the problem. Everybody's like, well,
Hey, yes. Because then I'll just start Winston-Salem Real Estate of Ardmore, and then I like Michael Scott in The Office.
That's exactly what Sophie did with Plan B. Basically, she had all of the Z-Man games and all the Plaid Hat games, and they're like, hey, we'll buy your stuff. Okay, buy the stuff. And then I'll make another board game company that's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've got other projects that if I get bought out of my real estate company, I'm okay to pursue those other projects. As long as the money is enough.
Nice.
Ay.
Good times.
Well, I played kid games this weekend, but that was was about it. However, my daughter, you know the kid game with the crocodile, you open up its mouth and like you press
the teeth? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like everybody was having fun playing with my 1-year-old because like she gets so nervous when she touches it and the faces that she makes. Like when she goes to hit the tooth, it's like, because like she knows it's gonna chomp. And she presses it, and if it doesn't chomp, she's like, "Yay!" And then if it does chomp, she's like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" But it's her face, like she's legit nervous about pressing that tooth down. It's the cutest thing ever. I'll have to film it. I'm just too busy usually like laughing or, just cracking up or something like that. But
That's awesome. I feel like as an adult, a lot of those times you can be like, I bet you that tooth's the right one.
oh man, I press two at a time, and I do random.
Yeah.
I'm just like boom, 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 just going for it.
Not gonna phase me.
Not gonna phase me. So anyway, but I'm excited for Monday. I'm excited to open up these boxes and see everything that's coming in.
Oh man, you gotta take some pictures, man.
I
wanna
will.
see it.
I will. What should I play at Saturday? I mean, if nobody else is gonna be there,
Bring
I mean,
something that
we're
you
gonna be there, but like nobody
like,
that
you know?
I'm thinking about bringing like a game I've never played.
We have to know how to play it to be able to teach it to people.
That's the kicker right there. So
Do you know
anyway,
how this board gaming thing works, Rob?
bro.
You're gonna sit there and be like, somebody teach me how to play my game.
Yes, sort of. No, I learn. I know how to read rules. I mean, I teach games when you're not around, Roy. It's just you got so much going on in your life. It's nice to have somebody else teach you.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, I guess we can get into our topic, which, speaking of campaign games, is about campaign games. How do you feel about campaign games? I know
Love
we've
'em.
talked about this quite a bit before in the past, but I figured since I'm playing through
I
the
absolutely
campaign.
love them. Only thing I don't like about them is that you need people to play them with.
Exactly. You need commitment.
Well, and you need time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem is time. But I love the idea of the campaign game. That's what I love about video games too. Like, forget the multiplayer in video games, but when you have like that awesome campaign, like Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
like that's what Gloomhaven kind of is to me, where it's just so big and there's so much you can do. Like Skyrim is that way. There's just so much you can do. So I wish more companies would maybe not get into like full blown huge campaigns, but make it an option where you change like a couple rules. Like if you want to do a campaign, you play these scenarios in this order, and you change these couple rules, type of a thing.
I think campaigns can be like super, like they make games like a game that you could play in a short time frame. It could make a game like really epic when you get to that build up moment when you're like at the end of a campaign when everything's coming together. I wish more games had shorter campaigns. Like instead of these huge long ones that are like 15 games long, like if a game had a whole bunch of like 3-game campaigns, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. Something that you could feasibly finish in a month as opposed to needing like half a year to finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the same group back together,
Yeah,
That's the issue.
and you definitely couldn't do that strategy with like legacy games because people would be like,
Oh no, that's not for that much money. I'm no.
Well, what if they had a legacy game that was a bunch of different short stories, That'd be kind of interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
you go.
I would love to see someone make that if they were like, okay, this is a legacy game, but you can play it multiple times, and there's several different stories through this. You can only play each story once, but you can restart characters over, do it, and play like 3 different sessions, and that does that little story arc. But then you can start with completely different people and do 3 more sessions, and they don't need to know the last game at all, but you can recreate different characters. I don't know. Or you just start fresh. It's like Twilight Zone themed, and you just do a Twilight Zone game with.
that's pretty much time stories, right?
Yeah, pretty much that's time stories. That would be great.
And Yeah,
should-
more
I should
games
play
like
those.
Time Stories would actually be really cool.
But we always one-shotted Time Stories, even though it took us 4 hours to play.
Yeah, I mean, we'd really map that out. But it was a lot of fun doing that.
Dude, the guy's got the last Time Stories scenario in, so it's supposed to finish the arc of all the ones they've made so far. And after this one, they're making each Time Stories scenario like a one-shot that doesn't have to do with like the main storyline or something like that.
Okay.
But this is supposed to culminate the storyline of the rest of the other games. So
I wonder what that means for the not for the bad guy, but for the your boss. Was it
Bob.
Phil? Bob.
Yeah. Tom said if Bob doesn't die or isn't in jail by the end of this, he's rioting.
I'm just hoping Bob's like a Cylon or something. He comes up at the end, Bob's just like, yo, what's up? Rips his face off. He's a robot. It's like, yeah.
What if like the
Yeah.
scenario just starts with Bob ripping his face off and it's literally you just chasing Bob through time and having to hunt him down? I think people would applaud that.
Yeah. You just open the box. It's almost an exact one-to-one reprint of BSG. You're just like, oh, neat.
Poor
Let's
Bob.
go chase Bob.
Bob, if he just wasn't so disappointed in you all the time. He's like, oh, I mean, you guys did what you're supposed to do, but goodness gracious, like, we had to pay so much money to send you on this mission. We didn't give you any training or anything, though, but you should do better next time. Nice.
You had a couple Bobs in your life, Roy?
I stay away from the Bobs. Nice.
Sounded a little too real.
So, what are some campaign games that you have played?
The main one that comes to my mind is Risk Legacy. But
I figured you'd say that one first.
yeah. Yep, that's the main one that comes to my mind.
I never finished my game of Risk Legacy.
I know.
Never finished my game of Pandemic Legacy.
I know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
What other campaign board games?
And see, that's what I want to get into is like the further down question of like games you want to see into a campaign. I haven't played a lot of
Mechs versus Minions.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we played. Yeah, that's campaign. I forget about that game. One of the best looking games ever.
I really want my kids to get older because I want to play through it with them, but they've got a little ways to go on that one still.
Wow, I sold my copy.
I still got mine. It's definitely a big thing to pack and move across country, but I
But
think
it's
it's
so
awesome.
well stored and put together.
I know, right? I
Bro,
couldn't
where
bring
am I going to
myself
put
get
these
rid of it.
pieces for this Joan of Arc game?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see that when that comes in. I don't know. I've played through tons of D&D type campaigns and D&D games, but I haven't played that many board game campaigns to completion. I know, Matt, you've played a bunch of campaign board games.
I mean, I played a bunch of legacy games. So
Yeah.
Charterstone, played Pandemic Legacy Season 1 and 2, and what are the other ones I played? Seafall. That's,
True. Don't even say that word.
that's something.
That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart.
Seventh Continent feels like a campaign
Yeah.
because I
Didn't
played
even
through a
play
bunch of
through
I
one
played through a
mission
ton of
for so
that
long.
with Trevor, and you have to play. I mean, it's got a whole bunch of different missions in it, but they take a really long time to go through. So
Yeah.
That might be the first Kickstarter game that I get in and just turn around and resell while it's on shrink.
oh really? Just because it's too much.
Well, it's like the more I hear people talk about it, the more I'm like, okay, I don't know that this is for me.
I mean, if you have
Like,
one other
I just-
person, to play, it's actually a really good game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But that's
Maybe.
it. You really
It
don't want to
is-
play it with 3. You don't
it
want to
is
play
a
it with
lot.
4. You gotta
Yeah.
play it with. It's basically when you're playing 2 players, you're still basically just at the same, like going together and doing everything together. So that's how me and
Yeah.
Rob played. That's how me and Trevor played. It's just
Yeah.
like you're holding hand in hand, skipping through the wilderness.
I take that back. I actually have played a couple of campaign games.
Yeah.
Descent. I have played Descent. I have played Imperial Assault. Also, and I missed this game. I wish I didn't sell it. Level 7 Omega Protocol.
Yeah.
A campaign game where you have the 10 different levels that you're trying to get through and stuff like that. So yeah, I have played some campaign games, but they've just been so far, in between each other and stuff like that going on. So.
So why do you think publishers are coming out with so many different campaign games? I know there's like tons and tons and tons of games that have these big, long, arcing campaigns. I mean, I've played Gloomhaven, I played Madeira, I played a bunch of these campaign dungeon crawls. I played Descent, like you said, Rob, and Imperial Assault.
Yeah.
I haven't finished any of them.
I think they're doing it just because it's the next step. Right? Like you see all these legacy games, and so it's like the in-between of a legacy game. Just have a campaign game that you can do over and over and over again. So I just think it's the next step because I'm happy to hear that they have got a bunch of these types of games coming out. I wish I could play more, but I do feel like there is a need for it, in the industry, like in video games. Like that's one of the things that's nice about video games. Like you can play Skyrim and be a thief. You can play Skyrim and be the good guy. You can be the bad guy. All these different options. And so to provide these options in board games is nice. The only downside is, at least, for my schedule and what I've got going on in my life is finding a dedicated group to consistently play the same thing. But
Yeah.
I'm encouraged to see that they're doing it.
Yeah.
What big campaign games are coming out that you've heard of that you're excited about?
That I'm excited about?
Or, interested?
Honestly, campaigns normally deter me more than they excite me just because I'm like, I'm never going to play through that.
Yeah, but you can choose to play through that. I imagine you can
not
find
really.
friends.
Who am I going to play
You
it
can't
with?
find people. Make friends.
I would like to. My coworkers aren't going to have the time to do it.
Make
So.
friends. Bro, my problem is not the people.
I have family too, so it's kind of like, dude, if I could get my wife into a campaign, that'd be awesome.
Is she a Lord of the Rings fan?
No.
Okay.
Who knows? I mean, she's like, oh, hobbits? What? No, no.
Okay.
But that's why I'm playing solo. But
Yeah.
it's been pretty
Mine
good.
is not friends. Like I've got plenty of people between Matt and other people or people at church and stuff like that to do it. It's just time.
I feel like I have a ton of people that would love to do that sort of thing, and I know a ton of people that love to do it, but everybody having that sort of schedule to sit down and
Yeah,
continually
but
do
can't
the
you
same
plan
thing.
a day in the future and like, hey guys,
I
May
could start
X-
one. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
easily start something, but I wouldn't be
See,
able
my
to
problem
continue.
is I'll say May 1st, everybody come to my house. We're gonna do this, and then May 1st, I'll have 10 clients call me. Hey, Robert, this and this, and so like, I've got to go make that money, and I've got to take care of them. So it's like, all right, guys, can't do it. Where
Well,
you
that's it.
can.
As an adult, man, it's just hard
You
to make
can
that
do
stuff
it.
happen.
No, you are the exception.
No, the problem is I can't control other people.
No, you can control other people, Roy. You have power.
Not over other people's time.
Yes, you do. You give them that little charm. You do that betrayal thing that you do. Just tell them they're going to have a great time even though they're not. Trick them into believing they are. Get them over to your house. You could do it, Roy. I need you to be the gamer for us. I live my board game life vicariously through you in the spring and early year.
Nice.
Bethesda. Leon, you work at Bethesda? Like the game place Bethesda? Hold on, Leon, before you leave, answer that.
I'm assuming
He's
that
going
it
there
means,
for work.
like the actual city of Bethesda.
Okay, but just
Bethesda Hospital.
what?
Or Bethesda Hospital.
or Bethesda Studios, which makes
Favorite.
And Skyrim.
Yeah.
which they're kind of in hot trouble right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vault 6076 didn't go so well.
Wait, I thought that was well received. Psych.
No.
Psych.
Oh, Bethesda MD Medical.
I'm assuming it means Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Is Bethesda in Maryland? Is that like that the name of the town?
Nice.
That's
Had you
that's
going.
fun. Leon, we appreciate you.
Is there a campaign game that you wish had one-shot scenarios in it?
I haven't played a lot of campaign, so I can't say yes or no. The games that I have played campaign mode, I like them the way that they are as campaign mode. So, nope. I'm going to answer that question as no. But your next question, I have answers for.
I would like there's a lot of games that I feel like I would actually buy if they had more like where you could play them. You could just sit down and play them with a person and have a fulfilling game out of just one game, you know? I mean, like Gloomhaven, if it had a bunch of like this scenario, just play this scenario when you're playing just this scenario. And it'd be really cool because I love the mechanics, I love this and that. If there was a fulfilling story in like just like one game, you know, or like two games together, that'd be really cool. But I feel like it's very grindy. You don't get to level up much, and you have to play 40 games to get the most out of it. Not 40 games, but you know what I'm saying. It's a very slow grind.
Yeah.
Doesn't Joan of Arc also got a campaign mode on it?
I mean, probably. I feel like they're slapping campaign modes on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we got a game, and once we reach this goal in Kickstarter, we'll release 2 new books that have campaigns in them, and you can play them. And it's like, oh, that's neat. That's cool.
It'd
Yeah.
be cool to see like even Kingdom Death or whatever. They're like one-shot thing where you go through all these things and like you get to level up your character a lot instead of just like grinding just a teeny bit. Like you get some sticks and you got to rub those together to get sawdust, and now you have sawdust that you can throw in your enemy's eyes.
Well, they have.
You
Yeah.
have to play through 3 games to get that sawdust though. But it'd be really cool if like there was a game that like fast tracks it. Like, hey, play this scenario and you get to fast track this stuff and you get to unlock lots of cool stuff all at the same time.
Woo!
I don't know.
Supposedly.
That's how
one
I
of
feel
the-
about Mansions of Madness. Like when you play a scenario of Mansions of Madness, you get all the items and you unlock all sorts of stuff and you do all the puzzles and you complete an entire story, you know,
Yeah.
I love it.
and it's cool.
But think about how cool Mansions of Madness would be if it had a big overarching campaign where you could do all these mini
Well, I think it'd be
modules.
really cool if they had
That's what I want.
both. I want
That's
both.
what
Yeah, for sure, both. That way you can pop in and you can be like, yo, I only got like... Honestly, I think it would be cool if the app that you go into it and you're like, hey, man, I've got everything out and I've got maybe an hour and a half. What do you have for me?
Dude, it'd
And
be
then
awesome if they made the game where you could put in a time frame and a number of players, and it would custom make the game that would be perfect.
it'd be
for
so
that.
good. It would be so good. That would be the thing that might make me buy Mansions of Madness. Like, just that, and then having one of those overarching campaigns where it connects a lot of just tiny things to tell you one big sort of narrative adventure. That'd be so cool.
I mean, I did play that like ridiculously long scenario,
Yeah.
but that wasn't really like a campaign, but it just took a
play that
really long
solo?
time for one big long story.
Yeah.
Because it didn't like have it kind of had breaks because it had different days and you'd like take the map up and put a new map down, but it's kind of interesting.
I mean, just like how cool would it be if you like played a scenario or two, then you had to drop for that week, and then you come back later, and then the phone recaps all the stuff that you did and a lot of the highlight moments, and you just have it and you're just reading out. And it's like, so last time our adventurers, you know, and just like it's almost like a lead in like a D&D game, but it just plays in this tightly controlled
Well,
environment.
Journeys to Middle Earth does a lot of campaign stuff. It saves the game state. You play like one game here, and then you play another one game, and then you play another one game. So you can save the game at any point in those one games and stuff. But
See,
it's still
that's
very
like Descent. Descent did that.
yeah. But it's just like a whole bunch of different encounters, and based off of whether you win or lose or what choices you make during those encounters, it'll set up different encounters branching out as you go along. But it's very grindy as you go along. Like you get a little bit of experience, and you can add like a card to your deck and add like upgrade a weapon sort of thing. So it's not like when you play Mansions. It's cool because the deck, you get a lot of cool special abilities and cards from that deck. So that helps out a lot in that way. But like in Mansions, you get piles of items, which is really cool. I don't know. I honestly prefer one-shot stuff just because it's actually a lot easier to get to the table with anybody without them having to make a big commitment.
Yeah. And then you don't have to worry about getting the same group together each time.
Right. And it's like, oh, man, Ryan can't make it this week. Well, I guess we'll play a different game because Ryan can't make it. Oh, well, next week, AJ can't make it. Well, I guess we'll play a different game because this person can't make it. It's like if you always defer because one person, it's really hard to get the band back together all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give up. You got me. The band can't do it. I'm done. I guess everybody else does too. That's the show, guys.
Oh.
Did we lose Roy?
Mike is cut out. Does he hear us?
Roy.
Your Mike's.
Roy literally said, "Get the band back together," and he left. So let's talk about bands. What is going to be the best song in the Avengers Endgame
Can
movie?
you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. And I was about to start talking about music. Speaking of Game of Thrones,
We could hear you
And
guys
that
the whole time, so
song-
it was good.
Cool.
that song that he was singing, that Podrick was singing on Sunday,
Oh, yeah.
bro, I downloaded that song. Oh, been listening to it all day, getting all hype.
Nice.
So good. Everyone's going to die on Sunday. Everyone's going to die.
I saw someone where someone had the list of all the characters, and you would check off who you think was going to die, trying to see who could get the closest death count.
There's
for
only a
Game of
couple
Thrones.
of people I think are safe from death, and that's just because their story arc isn't completed yet. I think Bran is definitely going to die. I think Theon is going to die. Brienne, possibly Jaime, possibly. I think Arya.
You think this is just going to be like a bloodbath up here at Winterfell, and
Yeah.
they're going to push all the way down to King's Landing?
They're outnumbered. They're outnumbered like 4-1. They've got like an army of what, 20,000, maybe 30,000, and there's over 100. There's probably like 120 to 150,000.
And it is pretty bad. It's like, hey, this is the third episode. Is the big battle? So it's like, oh well, they still got a few more episodes to go, right?
Well, yeah.
They're not going to win.
I don't even think the Night King is going to be at this battle. Spoiler alert. I don't think he's even going to be there. That's a campaign you know what? I haven't been playing video or board game campaigns. I've been playing TV show campaigns.
There you go.
And this campaign, I don't think Night King is going to be there. And I think that's going to hurt their plans because I don't want to give away too much. But, I don't think he's going to be there. I think he's headed to King's Landing, and he's just going to wreck all of them down there.
That would be crazy.
I'm so excited for this weekend. You guys have no idea.
So, are there any campaign games that you have never finished?
Yes, Pandemic.
Almost all of them.
Exactly, almost all of them.
And the main thing is time. That's it. How about this? There's not been a campaign game that I have played that I was just like, no, I don't want to finish, other than Seafall.
Yeah,
Everything else I've enjoyed,
and really wanted to get the band back together to finish it up.
but life happens, things come up, busy or family
Someone
stuff.
moves
or work
away.
stuff. Someone moves away. Yes, very far away. And so, like, there's that. But the only campaign game I played, and I was just like, I am happy to be done, is Seafall.
Man, it's the worst with legacy games too, because like if legacy games fall apart, at least with other campaign games, you could like start it over, put it back together. But legacy games, like, oh, if you get halfway through and then stop,
So you're kind of
then you just have to
you're
take
done.
the game and put it in the trash can, which makes me
pretty
sad.
much.
When I moved, I threw away my copy of Risk Legacy.
You're a jerk.
I know, I hate it. You know what? I never did the 3 nukes. I never even got that far.
You didn't get very far at all because the 3 nukes aren't.
I think we played like 4 games.
Man, when he who shall not be named and myself had the opportunity to do 3 nukes. I had a nuke, he had a nuke, and we talked somebody else into doing a nuke first because we knew if they do their nuke, we'll both do ours just to open that thing. We got so excited. You know how it is when you're playing that legacy game and you get to open up that new file or that new pocket, and the 3 nukes is like a big pocket that you open. Man, we just lost it.
That's awesome.
He shall not be named.
What is one campaign game that you would most like to get back to the table?
You know what? I would like. Okay, I have a campaign game I would like to see made, and I have one. I would love to see a Marvel Avengers campaign game. I think that'd be really cool. You know, and you do the progression, and you see if you don't campaign properly, maybe Iron Man's suit doesn't get as far as it could, or Spider-Man's suit doesn't get as far as it could, right? Like if you don't progress, which makes the game harder and harder and harder because you're not doing it properly, type of a thing.
Yeah.
But Star Wars Imperial Assault. I like Star Wars. I like the IP, but I've already sold off my copy. It's not going to happen. But that was just one where I really like that IP, and plus the new Star Wars. There's 2 new Star Wars things coming out this year. So, anyway, don't you guys think a Marvel's Avengers, or just a Marvel campaign would be cool?
I'd love to play a Marvel story-driven game,
right?
Game with
or
some
even
narrative in
like
it.
you create your own hero, and then as you play the game, your hero develops.
I mean, they have some role-playing games that are like that, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I would love to see a game that would. I don't know.
What if like Gameland Games type of a thing where it's like, how like their little meeples now you can add stuff onto it, right? So now you get this Marvel, you have like this base figurine, whether it's male or female or whatever you like,
add a whole bunch of superpowers onto them,
and then you get to add stuff onto it, and then do you want to upgrade this by upgrading this so it gets rid of these things and that things, and so it's kind of like a fun mechanic that you got to choose and work on. If anybody comes out with that, I get dibs and royalties. That's a great idea. But
oh man. Well, I definitely will be finishing the Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth campaign because I'm playing it by myself.
I am probably going to be buying it soon after I have like another couple closings and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm excited for you.
I really want to finish the
have
Mechs vs. Minions campaign. I'd love to play through a bunch of different campaigns. I don't know. I still want to finish my Discover Land Unknown because I know it's not even that long, and the game got kind of a bad rap, but I enjoyed my play of it. I think it's kind of cool. It's like a poor man's Seventh Continent.
Yep.
What about you, Matt? Are there any specific ones you want to get back to the table?
I'd like to finish Pandemic Legacy Season 2. That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, not really. Because, I haven't even started half the ones that I have. Like, I haven't started Kingdom Death, I haven't started Gloomhaven. Because it's such a big and daunting task to get into. It's like, even if I had everything from Kingdom Death assembled, it's just like, playing it would be like, okay, cool, we devote a day to it, and we get how far? And maybe we're really excited for it. Maybe we come back to it. But I don't know. There's a small amount of trepidation in me that I've bought this giant, massive game, and I'm going to be like, cool, did everybody have a good time? Everybody's like, yeah. And they're like, you want to play it again? It's like, nah. And you're like, okay. Well.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be able to offer that spice. Like, you got to be able to put it together, bro. Like, you got to give them a shot. Like, that's the big thing holding you back right now, I think, is there's so much. Like, can you imagine when you finally have everything in, the task of putting it all together then? Like, you got to do it in stages.
Dude, I love putting together. Dude,
I think if you wait, it's going to break you.
I put together all of Age of Sigmar Soul Wars in, like, last weekend just because it was sitting in the studio. I'm like, Sam, What is this? Can I build this?
See, and you're telling us that you don't have time for campaign games or to get people together.
Here's the thing. I have time to put things together, paint things a little bit myself or play a little bit of solo gaming. I can't force other people to do the same. And it's also
you asked
different. It's also different when it's just me by myself at night as opposed to having people over when I have a family and kids that are supposed to be asleep.
I know.
My condo is tiny. I can't have people over here.
I know a man in South Carolina that if you tell him you're home alone by yourself at night,
I'm never home alone. I'm never home alone.
I know a man in South Carolina. You tell him it's nighttime and you want to play together, he will be at your house as soon as possible.
Rob, I have a wife and a family.
He wants to be your wife and your family.
No, I'm not down.
You know who I'm talking about.
Too much facial hair.
That's a lot of facial hair.
Anyway, hey, speaking of campaign games, back to positive. What's your favorite board game with a campaign?
Right now, it's just got to be Risk of Legacy. But as soon as Mansions of Madness fixes their stuff, it'll be that.
Nice. For me, this is one that I know Chat mentioned that I hadn't talked about much, but I really like Arkham Horror LCG. Like, that game has like one of the best campaigns, and I've actually played through the entire Dunwich Legacy cycle campaign on that one, and I really enjoy that, like the deck building aspect of it. But it's another one that I played a lot solo. I played a little bit with Trevor here and there, and I played a couple like one-shot games, which is kind of cool that game has some one-shots you can play. But yeah, Arkham Horror LCG is amazing. But I don't know. Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth might beat it. I don't want to. I just started playing the game this week. I don't want to give it too much hype, but I really love that game as well.
Well.
Wow. I know you really enjoyed your pandemic stuff, Matt.
That's what I was thinking. Was like Pandemic, but I also really like Time Stories. But like, I guess I don't feel like I've played enough of it to like use that as my answer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's good. They're both good.
That's good.
Nice. Awesome, guys. Well, I think we've made this thing happen. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we start wrapping this thing up? Say to the people.
No, just thanks for putting up with us. I apologize if I was kind of off tonight. Just trying to do some work.
You're just preparing yourself for the amazing week that the rest of this week's going to be.
No, I'm trying to get everything else done so I can have an amazing rest of the week.
Guys, in-game, Game of Thrones, what did you say? It's supposed to be like the biggest fantasy battle ever or something like that?
No, not fantasy. It's supposed to be the largest cinematic battle in history when it airs.
Wow. So it's period cinematic history battle.
Yeah, TV, which is currently held right now by the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Nice.
Lord of the Rings of Twin Towers. This is supposed to be bigger than that.
Nice. Awesome.
So, boom. That's what's going on. Excited for it. It's going to be great.
Boom.
Boom.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Everybody in chat, y'all are awesome. And I hope to see everybody next time. We stream these Tuesday night at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. We do that at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to check us out there. Also, we want to say thanks so much to all of our amazing patrons who help support the show and help keep us doing what we're doing. If you'd like to support Epic Gaming Night, make sure to check us out at patreon.com/Epic Gaming Night. Y'all are amazing. Also, make sure to check us out at on Twitter and Instagram at Epic Gaming Night and at Shades of the Mind. I know chat was asking Matt's earlier because, everybody's got to follow Matt. And at, what is it? I need to just remember this.
Board Game Newman.
Board Game Newman.
That's right.
On Instagram. And hit us up on Twitter and all the things.
And the stuff.
And the
Hit
stuff.
us up on Twitter, Twitter. I just said something I should not have said.
I mean, hey,
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys at Cool Meter Night Expo, Dice Tower Con. I'll also be at Origins and Gen Con.
I'm also going to Kent Parker's house.
Kim
in
Parker's
June,
house
maybe.
in June.
What?
See you
Matt,
guys
you're
at Cabin
too right.
Con. See you guys at
Cabin Con? I don't know if you're invited yet.
I know. It's a very exclusive event.
It is
What else is there?
kind of a big deal.
Dice Tower Retreat. Dice Tower Cruise. Rob's like, let me jump through the screen and kill you real quick, Roy.
Oh, I don't.
PAX Unplugged. Hey, Matt, go to PAX
so tired.
Unplugged.
I really want to.
Ah, that Philly,
I'm
man.
just excited. I just want to get to Kumon, go for a day, get my package, get out, go to Ken's house, then go to Dice Tower Con, and then go to bed.
Hopefully you go to bed some in between that.
I'm going to try.
Yeah. Works hard, man.
Everybody have an amazing night, guys.
Yeah.
Hype. Okay, I'll see everybody.
Peace.
Peace.